Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're doing a GelX set, and right now is the season for the fall season. So we're in our fall vibes. I have been seeing plenty of videos on tortoise shell designs. Each video that I do watch is a different technique, different steps, different materials, products being used. So in this video today, you're gonna see how I do my tortoise shells. So the technique and the steps and all the products that I use to accomplish the look that I did. Now, just like with any nail design, you don't have to use the same products, you don't have to use the same materials, nor do you have to take the same steps. That's just a guideline for those that want to achieve the same look. But of course, you can always tweak it and make it your own style. So for this look, I am going to be using GelX. You can do acrylic, builder gel for my natural girlies, however you'd like. So I'm using the Apres brand and their line. We're going to be using the long natural almond shape and of course the gel extend. And just with any application, prep is always the most important. You can have the prettiest, most nicest nails, but if they're not lasting, if they're lifting, breaking, any of that, it's not worth it. So just routine with every application, any extension, any artificial gel, anything, always prep. Make sure you buff, make sure you dehydrate, make sure you prime. And I prime twice, nothing wrong with that. I'm starting with my pinky, and this angle is always the most awkwardest angle ever. When you're doing GelX on your client, you have both your hands, so you have that stability. With one hand, you're holding your client, giving that stability, and the other you're applying. But when you're doing it on yourself, it is very different, but not impossible. So it can get done. It just takes patience and I guess just more time. You can't go as fast as you would because you are only using one hand. So for my GelX girlies that are watching and don't know exactly why I'm applying my tips this way, this is how I apply my tips. A good nail tech, one time I saw her on TikTok. I never followed her. I never liked the video. I just remember seeing this and she changed my whole GelX ways. And I learned from her and I followed it and it works best for me. So typically after prepping the nails, your client's natural nails or your natural nails yourself, you would apply a slip layer, and that slip layer is basically a thin application of your gel extend or extend gel, and that's gonna avoid when you apply the tip, it's gonna avoid the whole tip from slipping, and it just gives it a nice even full nail of gel under to evenly coat the natural nail. And because you don't want air bubbles, you don't want any areas to be missing any gel. So it's not to say that the way I do it is gonna create air bubbles or leave any areas without gel. It's just more, you have to practice the amount that you put on the tip to fully give you the coverage you need on the natural nail to avoid lifting, to avoid air bubbles, to avoid any gaps in between the natural nail and the GelX nail. So I find this way very effective. It works for me and my clients, and it cuts down on time. So instead of me adding time onto my service, well, I go add a slip layer to all 10 fingers and we cure that a minute each on both hands. I avoiding that slip layer while I'm still fully covering the nail plate and giving the same look, the same outcome as if I would apply a slip layer. Again, this is the way I apply my GelX tips. Like I said, they're effective for me. This way is effective and it gets the job done. They last and it cuts down on time. You know, if you want to try, if you're into GelX and this is something new for you, I would recommend to try it out. See if you like it. And if you are just learning GelX, this is a good way to start as well. I started off with the slip layer, just like I'm guessing everybody else, and I moved on to this technique, and I'm telling you, I'm 100% happy with it. Now that we've applied our tips, so we're only doing our left hand today. We're gonna cure for 60 seconds before we start shaping the nail. I begin with my cuticle area. I'm using a fine bit and I'm just going in the horseshoe area of the cuticle. I'm not digging into the nail. You don't want to bring down the GelX nail or take any bulk off of it because it's already thin, and you don't want to create any gaps because that will cause lifting, and water or anything like that could get into the nail. Now, of course, to add any nail art, we are going to need to buff the GelX tip because it has like that shiny layer gel and that doesn't mix. So the gel just won't be applied nicely and evenly without this layer. I mean, you can try it, but I recommend this 100%. Going with the buffer or with your arbor band, really quick, not taking off any bulk, just very lightly over the top. The Apres tips do come pre-shaped, but I don't like my almonds as pointy. It does have like a little tip at the end, so I just round that out just a little bit. And I also like to do the edges a bit narrow, so I go in very lightly just to reshape just a bit the way I like it and get any like under nail to make it go more straight, if anything. To begin my tortoise shell design, I'm going to be using Joya Mia gel, and this one I got from Amazon. I've had it for a while now. I don't remember where I got the idea from, but I was looking for a jelly yellow orange, and this came up on Amazon, and it's my favorite till today. I do see a lot of other colors and other brands, and of course, you know, theirs are perfect as well, but this one is my favorite. The gel glides on really nice and has a nice full coverage. For my other two fingernails, it has nothing to do with the tortoise design, but if you guys do like my nude color, this one's $8.79 Sunset Suede from D&D. I cure a full 60 seconds between coats, and with the second coat we're gonna do an even layer, not too thick because we still don't want it too dark. Once we have a full cure, we're gonna go in with our Mia Secret blooming gel. This one's my favorite. We left the blooming gel uncured, and now we're gonna begin with our base of our tortoise shell design. And you're adding black kind of in a circle motion, but not perfect, and no specific areas. You just kind of add as you go, and then you're gonna give it a few seconds, let that bloom out and cure for a full 60 seconds. And with the thumb, I did that one separately because the angle of your hand when you're doing it, if you do all the fingernails at the same time, you're angling your hand at a different angle, and then it's gonna make the blooming gel fall to a certain side. So I did the thumb itself, and then I'm gonna do the middle finger and the pinky together because I'm able to keep my hand in the same angle, so that way the blooming gel is gonna bloom at the same direction on both nails. If you are wondering what black gel this is, it is from GelX. This is my only GelX gel polish, but it's very pigmented. I do recommend it. I'm giving the blooming gel some time to bloom out, and I wait until I feel like it's the perfect look, and then I cure for a full 60 seconds. I'm gonna go in with a third coat of the Joya Mia tortoiseshell color. I honestly don't know the number or the name, but it's this yellow orangey jelly color. I cure that for 60 seconds, and then I'm gonna bring out this dark brown, and I'm gonna mix the dark brown and the black, and this is gonna be the color that's gonna bloom and blend between the black and the tortoiseshell color. It's gonna give it dimension. Without this step, I feel like the design looks more of a cheetah, leopard, giraffe type of design. So it's totally up to you. If you like how it looks from here, you can keep it, or you can add this step. So right in between the black spots, we are going to be adding very lightly the mixed black and brown, and let that bloom out. I cure my thumb, and then I go onto my middle and my pinky. I do the same steps, and then I cure again for another 60 seconds. Now that we have our desired look, we have added plenty of layers of gel, and it's gonna be uneven. So to even everything out, we're gonna go in with a base coat. We're gonna give a nice even layer. We're gonna take off the tacky layer, and I'm gonna go in with a buffer, and I'm gonna buff everything out till I have a smooth surface. Don't be worried about your design. It should be safe as long as you put a nice even layer of base gel. It's gonna be just fine. This is just so you don't have any lumps in your nail design. I did add some Frenchies onto my nude nails. I did like a two-tone nude. Once I was done with the look, I am adding my top coat, and this is the Koopa one, and it is my favorite. It lasts a very long time, and I'm gonna do a nice thick coat of it, and you finally get to see the design, how it comes to life, and it looks super pretty. If you guys stayed till the end, thank you guys so much. See you guys next time.